My family ignored my birthday for years, so I cut them off, threw the best celebration of my life, and made sure they'd never forget me again. I stopped expecting my family to care about my birthday a long time ago. When I was a kid, I used to think birthdays were supposed to be special, that it was the one day of the year when your family would celebrate you, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. But in my house, birthdays didn't mean much, at least not my birthday. My parents would forget half the time, and when they did remember, it was usually an afterthought, a last-minute, half-hearted, "Oh right, happy birthday." No cake, no presents, no special dinner, just another regular day. And if I ever brought it up, I'd get hit with, "Why do you care so much? You're too old for birthdays." Or the classic, "You should be grateful we even said happy birthday." Meanwhile, my siblings' birthdays, those were huge. My parents went all out for them. Big parties, fancy gifts, special meals. It wasn't just that they forgot my birthday. It was that they made it painfully obvious that they cared about everyone else's except mine. And by the time I was a teenager, I stopped trying. I stopped reminding them. I stopped hoping they'd remember. I stopped caring. Or at least, I tried to convince myself I didn't care. But deep down, it still hurt. I remember my 16th birthday like it was yesterday. It was supposed to be a big deal. Everyone in my class was having sweet 16s, getting cars, throwing parties, making memories. I didn't expect much, but I thought maybe, just maybe, my parents would do something, even just a cake. Instead, my dad was at work all day, my mom was too busy, and my siblings, they didn't even acknowledge it. By dinner time, I was sitting at the table alone, eating leftovers from the night before while everyone else was in the living room watching TV. Well, no one said a word to me. No one even looked at me. I just sat there, staring at my plate, feeling invisible. And that's when it hit me. I could literally vanish that day, and it wouldn't make a difference to them. That was the moment I decided if they weren't going to celebrate me, then I wasn't going to waste another second caring about them. After that, I stopped bringing up my birthday. I stopped waiting for them to remember. I stopped hoping, and every year it was the same. My parents would completely forget unless someone reminded them. My siblings wouldn't say a word, and I'd go through the day like it was any other miserable day of the year. I started making up excuses to avoid being home. Oh, I have a study group. Oh, my boss needs me to cover a shift. Oh, I'm staying at a friend's house. Oh, anything to avoid sitting in that house, waiting for nothing. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself birthdays were stupid anyway, but deep down, it still hurt. Because every time my sister had a birthday party with dozens of people, balloons, gifts, and a full-blown catered dinner, I was reminded that it wasn't about my parents forgetting birthdays in general. It was just that mine wasn't important enough to remember. And last year? Last year was the moment I finally snapped. I had turned 26, and for once, I actually had plans for my birthday. A few of my closest friends had planned a small get-together, a dinner, some drinks, nothing crazy. But I was excited. It was the first time in years that I actually had something to look forward to. And then, my mom called me the night before. At first I thought, holy shit, she actually remembered. But no, she needed me to come over the next day. "We're having a little get-together for your sister," she said casually. "Just a small thing." I frowned. "Wait, tomorrow?" "Yeah," I hesitated. "Mom, tomorrow's my birthday." Silence. Then a fake-sounding laugh. "Oh, right, I totally forgot." I felt my stomach drop. Of course she forgot. She always did. But this was different. This wasn't just her forgetting. It was her actively planning something for someone else on my birthday. I swallowed hard. "I actually already have plans, so I won't be able to make it." "Oh, come on," she said, annoyed. "It's just a small dinner. You can do your little thing another night." Little thing? Like my birthday was some insignificant event that could just be rescheduled at her convenience? I clenched my jaw. "No, I'm not canceling my plans." She sighed heavily. "You're being so dramatic. It's not a big deal." I let out a short laugh. "Yeah, I know. My birthday never is." And then I hung up. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't going to let them brush me aside. And if they weren't going to celebrate me, then I was going to make damn sure they never forgot my birthday again. I woke up the next morning with a decision made. For years, I had let my family treat my birthday like it didn't matter. I had accepted their excuses, their forgetfulness, their constant reminders that I wasn't worth celebrating. But not this year. This year, I was taking my birthday back. I was done being an afterthought. I was done sitting in my room, scrolling through social media, watching other people's families go all out while mine barely even acknowledged I existed. I wasn't waiting for them to care anymore. I was going to have the best birthday of my life, and I was going to do it without them. I texted Mia, my best friend, first. If there was one person who would fully support my plan, it was her. I didn't give her details right away. I just said, I want to go all out for my birthday, like all out. She responded within seconds. Finally, I've been waiting for you to say that. What's the plan? And just like that, the idea turned into reality. We started brainstorming immediately. I had never done anything big for my birthday before, so this was going to be new territory for me. But Mia? She had zero doubts. You deserve a birthday that people talk about for years, she told me. Let's do it right. And oh, we did. The best part of this plan, I was only inviting people who actually wanted to be there, no fake family members who would roll their eyes at me, no people who would act like showing up was a chore, no one who would forget my birthday the second they walked out the door. Just friends, real friends, people who made me feel like I actually mattered. Mia got to work helping me plan the guest list, and by the end of the day, we had over 20 people confirmed. That was already 20 more than I was used to. By the afternoon, I had started ignoring my family's calls. I knew what was coming, and sure enough, a few hours later, my brother sent a text. Mom is mad. She said you hung up on her last night. Are you seriously skipping dinner? I stared at the screen, then rolled my eyes. It was never about my birthday. It was never about making me feel special. It was always about them. They didn't care that they had forgotten. They didn't care that I had spent years feeling like an afterthought. They only cared that I wasn't playing along this time. I took a deep breath before replying. Yeah, I'm skipping it. I have plans. A few minutes later, he responded, You're being dramatic. It's just dinner. You're really that mad over a birthday? That was it. That was exactly why I had reached my breaking point. To them, my birthday was nothing, but I knew deep down that if it had been anyone else's birthday, they would have moved things around. They would have made sure they got a special day. They just never made the effort for me. I didn't bother responding. But when my phone started ringing again, this time with my mom's name flashing on the screen, I hit decline because I was done. By the time my birthday night rolled around, I was buzzing with excitement. Mia had outdone herself. The venue was gorgeous, the music was perfect, and everyone who showed up, they were there for me. For the first time in forever, I wasn't sitting in my room waiting for my family to remember I existed. I wasn't forcing myself to smile through some awkward family dinner while my parents barely acknowledged I was there. I was laughing. I was dancing. I was having the time of my life. And the best part? For the first time ever, my birthday felt like it actually belonged to me. Sometime around midnight, I finally checked my phone, and let me tell you, it was glorious. I had missed calls from everyone in my family, and the texts? Oh, the texts. At first, they started off passive-aggressive. Wow, can't believe you just blew off the family like that. It's really selfish of you to miss dinner over something so stupid. You really think your friends care about you more than your own family? But then they got worse. Mom was crying. Dad is so disappointed in you. Hope your little party was worth ruining your relationship with your family. And that's when I knew I had won. Because for the first time in my life, my family was feeling my absence. They were realizing that I wasn't just going to sit there and take it anymore. And if they were mad, good, because now they knew exactly how I had felt for years. When I woke up the next morning, the guilt trip was in full force. My mom had left multiple voicemails, all with the same theme. I can't believe you did this to us. After everything we've done for you. Oh, you mean years of ignoring my birthday? We just wanted to have a nice family dinner, but I guess your friends are more important now. You mean the friends who actually showed up for me? Your sister was really hurt that you skipped her dinner. Oh, you mean the dinner you planned for her on my birthday? I didn't respond, because nothing I said would change anything. They weren't sorry. They weren't suddenly realizing their mistakes. They were just mad that I wasn't there to be ignored. And I was done apologizing for making myself a priority. The morning after my party, I woke up feeling amazing. For the first time in my life, my birthday hadn't been a disappointment. There had been no awkward family dinner where I sat in silence, feeling like an afterthought. No forced smiles while my parents made it clear that they had only remembered my birthday at the last minute. This year, I had celebrated on my own terms, and I had never felt happier. But as soon as I checked my phone, I knew my family was not feeling the same way. My notifications were flooded with missed calls and texts. Mom had sent multiple voicemails, each one more dramatic than the last. I can't believe you did this to us. After everything we've done for you. We just wanted to have a nice family dinner. But I guess your friends are more important now. Your sister was really hurt that you skipped her dinner. She was looking forward to celebrating with you. Oh, really? The sister who got a full-blown dinner planned on my birthday was upset that I didn't show up? Yeah, sure. And then there was my dad's text. You really embarrassed your mother last night. She was so upset she couldn't even eat dinner. Was that what you wanted? I actually laughed out loud when I read that one. Like, really? The same mother who forgot my birthday every year suddenly lost her appetite because I wasn't there? Yeah, no, that wasn't guilt. That was control slipping through their fingers. And they hated it. As if my parents weren't enough, my siblings decided to join in. My older brother, who barely even spoke to me outside of family gatherings, sent me a text that just said, "Wow, real mature." That was it. No context, no actual conversation. Just that. Like I was the immature one for not letting them walk all over me this year. And then, of course, my sister had to say something too. The same golden child they had planned a whole dinner for on my birthday. I don't know why you're acting like we're awful to you. If you really wanted us to remember your birthday, you could have said something instead of making a scene. Oh, that was rich. I took a deep breath before responding. You mean how I reminded Mom last night and she laughed and said she forgot? Or how I used to remind you all every year and it never made a difference? Yeah, no thanks. Enjoy your dinner, though. I hit send and didn't wait for a response. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't letting them rewrite history. I wasn't letting them act like this was my fault for not reminding them. They had made it very clear over the years that my birthday wasn't important to them, so I made sure they knew they weren't important to my birthday anymore. A few hours passed before my dad called. I debated ignoring it, but honestly, I was curious. I picked up, keeping my voice completely neutral. Hello? He sighed heavily, like this was the most exhausting thing he'd ever had to deal with. You need to come over and apologize to your mother. I blinked. Apologize? For what? For making such a big deal out of this, he snapped. You know how she gets. She's been crying all morning. Oh, so now I was the problem, not the years of neglect? Not the constant forgetting? It was my fault because I finally stood up for myself? I let out a short laugh. Dad, let me get this straight. You're mad at me because Mom is sad that I didn't let her forget my birthday again. She didn't forget, he argued. She just didn't care enough to remember, I finished for him. Like every year before this. Silence. And then he tried a different approach. You're blowing this out of proportion, he said, his voice softer. We're your family. You don't just cut family out over something like this. Oh, now he wanted to play the family card? Now when they were feeling my absence, suddenly family mattered? I clenched my jaw. Funny, I said, because for years I sat alone on my birthday while my family did nothing. And I don't remember anyone caring back then. That's not fair, he said, his tone sharp. No, I said firmly. What's not fair is spending years feeling like I didn't matter to the people who were supposed to love me. What's not fair is being treated like I was asking for too much just for wanting to be acknowledged once a year. He sighed again. So that's it, then? You're just going to cut us off? I rolled my eyes. I didn't say that. But I'm also not going to keep bending over backward for a family that only cares when it's convenient for them. Silence. I could tell he was gritting his teeth, trying to figure out how to regain control of the conversation. But he couldn't. Because this time, I wasn't playing along. I have to go, I said. Tell Mom I hope she enjoyed her dinner, and then I hung up. I sat there for a few moments staring at my phone, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Relief. For so long I had let them make me feel small, like I was selfish for wanting to be celebrated, like I was overreacting for being hurt that my own family didn't care. But now I saw things clearly. They weren't mad because they missed me. They were mad because they were finally facing the consequences of their actions. They weren't used to me saying no. They weren't used to me choosing myself. And they definitely weren't used to me being happy without them. And that was the best birthday gift I could have ever given myself.